Madeline from Hello Food Reviews. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We've been talking about doing this now for probably 6 months, and every time I've seen your Instagram, I get hungry and hungrier. And so I'm really excited to talk and really just kind of understand and learn where, maybe your passion for food came, because it's pretty obvious once you start looking at your Instagram page of of a passion for food.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
No, so did this just start with, kind of cooking for yourself? I guess, how did all of that begin?
So actually it's a funny story. It was about 2 years ago and it was like 3 a.m. and I was just like going through my photos and I was like, like I have a lot of pictures of food. And I was like, what it would be cool if I like made an Instagram for this and like
Yeah.
documented it all. So like at 3 a.m. I just created the name and like a little bio and like my photo was like donuts from Krispy Kreme and like it wasn't anything big at all. And I just started like posting my food pictures.
Hmm.
And then like it just blew up over a few weeks. And then all of a sudden, like these brands want to work with me. And like people are like, oh, who's Hello Food Reviews? And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Like, it was just crazy. And then so
That's
like once,
wild.
yeah, so once that started going, then I like developed a love for like cooking and creating recipes. And it's just become such a passion of mine. And like I look forward to it every day.
And it's really such a kind of a cool story, that something that you wanted to just do for fun,
Yeah.
and kind of document on Instagram, which is really kind of what, I mean, obviously a lot of people do, but really probably not having much of an expectation from it. When did that kind of slowly transform? Like, so you started this and then all of a sudden you noticed some traction. And
Yeah.
so like, when did it switch from like, hey, this is kind of cool, to like, oh my gosh, like what's happening?
Yeah, so I started this Instagram back in October of 2019
Hmm.
and all of a sudden like I don't know, like a few months goes by and like I'd get like X amount of likes and then more towards May I got like some serious like numbers and like some serious followers and so that's why like I introduced it as this is me, like my name's Madeline Blank, I run Hello
Yeah.
Food Reviews. And then it's like at that point like my friends and family found out that like I was the face behind it. And then like from then on it just grew and grew and grew. And now it's like okay, like this is crazy, like this is huge.
And what were some of the maybe like fun things that you did when you started to, because you were creating a lot of food,
Yeah,
right? Like,
so
and do you still, and
um
still do you still do kind of a lot of fun stuff with food?
yeah, so like with COVID, because it was right before COVID hit that like I started my Instagram page, I like we couldn't go to any restaurants or anything, so I had to figure out something else to post. And so that's when I got into developing my own recipes and like sharing that. And so like it's been fun creating my different recipes and like posting them. And like a lot of different people have contacted me and told me how like, hey, like I really love your banana bread. Like what's next? And I'm like, I'm working on it.
Well, I guess we should probably all like point out too, right? Like, you have a full-time job as a student right now, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
So I
which,
am a student, and then I
yeah.
have like another job. I work as the editor of Westfield Lifestyle magazine. And then so
Awesome.
then I do this, and it's just like I'm always constantly on the go, but like I love it. I love what I
Yeah.
do.
And that's really when, when you're having so much fun with it, regardless of the amount of work that kind of goes into it, you still want to do it, right? Because it's not easy to run the page that you do.
Yeah.
It takes time, and it takes a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot
Yeah.
of, kind of thought. And so, um So how has this, I mean, I'm sure you have, with graduating, you're sure you have some aspirations for your career. But this has also kind of given you a lot of entrepreneurial skills too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And so do you look to this to possibly continue to grow and to potentially do something else with it one day, or what do you kind of think you want to do with this?
Oh, that's a loaded
It
question.
is a loaded question.
Um, so I don't know. I really think that I could definitely do this for the rest of my life and like keep growing with it.
Hmm.
Um, More of like a bigger goal of mine is I want to open up my own restaurant. And
Hmm.
like by going to all these places, like I'm like, oh, like I want that at my restaurant, or like, oh, I like those glasses, like
Yeah.
I want that at my place. So I'm kind of like figuring out what I want to do as and like figuring out what type of food I want with the places I go and like, oh, like I like that style,
Hmm.
that's
And
more of a
so,
long term.
yeah, no, which is always a fun thing to, kind of
Yeah.
think about. And as you're thinking about the type of food that you want, uh what do you, over the years of kind of trying different foods, what do you think is your most favorite dish that maybe you've tried or that is just like a continued go-to? Like I always judge a restaurant by its fish and chips. I love fish and chips,
Yeah.
and everything else for me is going to kind of evolve from there. But that's just kind of like pubs. But then if I go to a nice restaurant or whatever, it's other things. But do you have a dish that you will be kind of like, is your kind of go-to staple that you enjoy the most?
Well, I try to try many different dishes and post them on my page because I don't want like too many of the same dishes.
Sure.
But I love a good pasta dish or a good pizza. Like those are my
Mm,
two favorite like sweet spots. Like give me a good pizza and I'll come back again and again and just get the pizza.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite locally that you've pizza place that you go to?
So there's this place in Southwick called the Rail Trail Ale House, and they have this pizza, and then like it has prosciutto on it, it has arugula,
Mm.
like it has all of my favorite things. And every time I go there, I eat the whole personal pizza in that one sitting. Like it is that good.
Yeah, I saw you eat this waffle with fruity pebbles one time, and I was just like, that was amazing because I mean, I grew up, I love fruity pebbles,
Yeah.
and so to see a waffle with that was pretty fun. But do you have one that's kind of like most outrageous or one of the most fun ones that you've reviewed?
So actually I went to this restaurant in New York City and they created this dessert and it was like a red velvet cake, but it was made to look like it was a plant and like the red velvet was like the pot and then it was like cake pops and then it was like flowers and like they had chocolate leaves, like everything was edible, but it looked like it could be in my garden. Like it was the
Mm,
coolest thing ever. And so like I think that was one of like the most like craziest things that I've had that's like
yeah.
that.
Now, I think that also as other people may look to this and start thinking about, oh, well, I like doing something, it could never really go anywhere. Do you have any advice for somebody who's kind of thinking about starting something that they really enjoy, but yet might be a little bit intimidated by it?
Yeah, so like at times, like there were points in my blogging career where I was like, I don't know how I can like compete with all these other people or keep going. And I think it's really how you grow in that profession and how you like, I don't know, how you like look to yourself as a person and say, like, I can do this. Like, I am confident. I am sure of myself. Like, I just need to push through this and keep going. And like, I know it will be rewarding and I know it'll work out.
Mhm.
So I think the biggest thing is just to not lose hope and like not lose your drive because once you lose that, then it's all downhill.
Yeah, and it really is such great advice because it's really all a matter of, right, like you having a platform to share and to speak your voice, and regardless of how many people listen, it's still a platform for you to do that and to never be discouraged. And if we
Mhm.
get different success by it, great. But if we don't, we should, who knows when that success possibly can come. And so it's always a good thing to just be able to be steadfast, and this is what I want to put out there, and this is the content that I like, and that's what I'm going to put out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I certainly applaud you for doing that. Is there any other, aside from the restaurants, is there any other thing that you're looking to do with Hello Food Reviews, or just, I know it's really it's a great space in kind of this local area. You're looking to continue to stay in the local area. Will you expand it a little bit? What are your kind of thoughts as you explore new restaurants and kind of explore the places that you're going to review?
Yeah, so like I love to help out locally. I love like my local businesses and local restaurants. Like I think it's really important to expand on like what they have to offer and like
Hmm.
what their specials are and get the word out about them.
Yep.
But I do love to travel, and like anytime I go somewhere, of course I'm gonna post it. So I'm looking to get into like more experiences like outside of Western Mass in this area. Like, oh,
Sure.
let's go to Boston for today. What can we do there? So like I really
Yeah,
want to focus in on like, oh yeah, Western Mass is great, but like I want to go somewhere and do something. What can I do? Where can I do it just to get away?
that's excellent. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Well, Madeline, listen, I wish you all the success with this. This is it's fun watching where you go and what you're gonna, have next. And I love all the pictures, and it makes me want to eat. So, so you're doing a good job. And but before I go, one thing that we were talking about, I want to ask one last question because I was thinking
Yeah.
about this. One of my favorite things are donuts, and we were
Yes.
talking about kind of donut dip, and I love just regular, just kind of glazed donuts or a chocolate frosted or something along those lines.
Mhm.
What has been one of your most favorite donut places, and then what's one of your most favorite donuts?
Oh my gosh. So my favorite donut place, like all time, excluding
Yeah.
Western Mass, like it's called Deviant Donuts. And it's down in Mystic, Connecticut. And
Mm,
every week they have a new theme of donuts. So I remember I've gone a few times, but I went during the summer and you have to like order them ahead of time and everything, and they had a Star Wars week.
mhm.
And so I had to get one of every donut. I wore my Baby Yoda t-shirt. I had my Baby Yoda stuffed animal in my hand. Like I had my Crocs that were Star Wars, like I was a kid in a candy shop.
I love
And
it.
that is my all-time favorite donut place. But however, I'm very basic when it comes to donuts. And my favorite donut is just a traditional strawberry frosted.
Mm. Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, listen, there's something about the basics that are always good. All of the fun donuts are great to kind of try, but
Yeah.
you really can't go back, or even just a jelly donut, or there's so many. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're excellent. But listen, it was a fun conversation. I truly, truly appreciate you coming on, and I wish all the success. Again, it's certainly a page that I always enjoy going to, and it makes me kind of look forward to the next place you're going to. So thank you for doing this,
Thank
and
you. I appreciate it.
yeah, and thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course.
Congrats to all your success.
Thank you.